Since the dawn of time, man has been curious. And for almost as long, the Vibes Broadcast Network has sought the truth. Investigate, discuss, explore. Okay, maybe in other episodes, but this one is just listen to the vibes.
The views and opinions of our guests may not necessarily reflect those of the host or the Vibes Broadcast Network. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. I have here Mr. Daniel Reyes, and we're going to have a little talk about a great achievement that he has in his life. We have something similar in common. I used to be a pretty big guy, and I lost a lot of weight, and that was for health reasons, but it feels good to go from, wearing 40 pants down to 32s. I can see my feet again. But tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. I'm in North Idaho. Just like you were mentioning, I have lost a lot of weight. I've struggled with weight my whole life. So for me, this is an extraordinary accomplishment. I don't ever remember not being on a diet as a kid, so this has been huge for me. On top of that, I have overcome a lot of major health issues. So it's been a great success for me in the past few months doing this.
Well, I mentioned to you before we got started that I'd had a heart attack at a very young age. And, I was overweight, alcoholic, drug addict. Every vice in the world was basically what I was doing. And it found out that I was diabetic and, I had the blood pressure problems and things like that. But it just seems like it was downhill from there. I ended up, because of my diabetes, having neuropathy for one. And number two, I ended up with a degenerative disease in my spine, which is attributed to the diabetes. And it's been a struggle. I lost the weight and what have you. A lot of those things have improved. Unfortunately, arthritis and the other problems I have with my bones is something I'm going to struggle with for the rest of my life. But what all happened to you health-wise?
Yeah. So, I was born with a heart condition, right? I have a deformity in my heart. So no matter how much weight I lose, how much fasting I do, whatever, that's not going to change, but that's okay. Before everything, I was perfectly fine with that condition. So it was fine. But about like 4.5 years ago now, I went to the ER because I had trouble breathing. People were noticing that my lips were turning blue. I couldn't really talk. It ended up I had blood clots in my lungs and in my right leg.
Oh no.
Yeah, pretty bad. I walked in at like 11 o'clock in the morning and had emergency surgery by 5 to remove the clots. I ended up spending 3 weeks in what they call an end of life room because they really thought that was it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That'd be scary.
Yeah. Well, I found out a lot of this later. They didn't tell me initially. I guess they didn't want to worry me and depress me. But, one blood clot in your lung, there's a 20% chance of survival is what I was told.
God.
And I had multiple.
That's a miracle that you're still here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
Did you have any telltale signs before that?
No. And there really isn't any. Blood clots can happen for a number of different reasons. They can be hereditary, they can be genetic, they can be, there's people who go on an airplane and just sitting uncomfortably for a while that will cause one. So there's no one thing that'll do it.
What was weird was for months, I kept having this little sharp pain in my chest. And I didn't realize they're almost like, I guess you call them mini heart attacks. But I just thought maybe it was either heartburn or maybe I had strained a muscle or something, but they were really sharp. And I mean, it was like doubling over kind of pain.
Yeah.
And then the days leading up, I kept, you know how it feels when you just kind of lay around and get lazy and
Mm-hmm.
you're just tired.
Yeah.
Well, I kept having that feeling, even though I was working but just let me go back. I was working the evening shift. And so I'd come home late, I'd sleep in, then I'd be up for a few hours and go to work. Well, I thought maybe I need to be a little more active. So I got up that morning a little bit earlier than usual, started working around the house and that kind of stuff. 2 hours worth of work. I felt like I had worked a 12-hour shift.
Oh, wow.
Fell back to sleep, woke up in time to get ready and go to work, and then felt almost as if I was on high on marijuana or something all the
Oh,
way.
wow.
And then got to the office, told my buddy, I was like, man, I don't feel good, but I had overtime I didn't want to miss out on.
Right.
And then sat down to get my assignments for the evening. And then all of a sudden my heart started pounding real fast.
Oh,
And
man.
my eyes rolled back in my head. My boss is in my face yelling at me. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost sounds like he's down the hallway, even though he's in my face. And I didn't get to the hospital in time to get a stent. So they just give you blood thinners in that
Yeah.
case, But I mean, so none of that kind of stuff. Do you didn't feel anything before then?
I mean, I felt really tired a lot,
Oh.
but before before the clots were discovered, like I had been gaining weight pretty rapidly there for a little bit.
Mhm.
And it ended up I had a lot of different things all at once, right? I had the blood clots, I had the heart condition, I had bronchitis.
Ugh,
So like,
I know that one.
yeah, so there was just all these things all at once. But it ended up, right, so I spent 1 month in the hospital, I was out for a month, and then back in for another month. So basically it was a summer in the hospital, more or less.
Oh,
By the time I got out, I was so weak and so just messed up, I couldn't even walk to the bathroom. Like, it was bad. And they had told me, hey, you need to lose weight or else you've got about 5 years and that's it. And but they don't tell you how to do it, they just say go do it.
mm-hmm.
And so that's tough. And so with that clock ticking over me, I tried literally everything under the sun that you could think of, point systems, low carb, no carb, calorie restriction, you name it, I tried it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. The no carb, it's almost impossible to do, but you need carbs. I mean, you have to have them, but there is if you count them correctly, like somebody my size, about 60 carbs a day is all you really need.
Yeah.
But so what did you end up doing?
So I got so bad because like I would lose a little bit of weight with the diet,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would stall out and then it would all come back, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that's the story of my life, right? I know a lot of people who struggle with weight, that's the story of their life. But with the ticking clock, it was very demoralizing and very, very hard to deal with. So I got to the point that I looked at weight loss surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And my background is journalism, and so I do all my research on everything I do. And I looked into the weight loss surgery results. There's a couple clinics around my house that do it. One clinic boasted a 30% success rate, and then the other one boasted a 35% success rate.
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound encouraging, does it?
No, not at all. So it's like go spend, tens of thousands of dollars and it might work, probably not, but it might. So
Yeah.
that was pretty rough. Also I know people in my family and personally who have had weight loss surgery and it didn't work. Like it worked for a little while, but then long term it didn't. It all came
Yeah.
back. On that show 600 pound life,
Yes.
the doctor on that even says that, like, I have the clip of it where he talks about 10-year timeline, 90% of the time it doesn't work.
It's a whole lifestyle change if you're going to make it
Yeah,
successful.
yeah, exactly. So, but still, in spite of all that, I thought, well, I got to do something, and everything else I'm trying isn't working. And so the clinic I went to, there was a program, right? You had to lose a certain amount of weight first to show that you were motivated, and then they would put you in surgery. That's how they got that extra 5% from 30 to 35.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's where that comes from. So so they put me on a liquid diet for a month.
Ooh,
right? Just
that'd be
shakes.
rough.
I thought that too going in. I was really concerned about it, but also, I thought, well, I got to do something, and
True.
it's either that or die, basically. So, okay, I'm not eating for a month. I'm just gonna have these shakes, and I did it, and it was surprisingly easy,
Oh,
like
wow.
surprisingly easy, and I was shocked by that. I went in, got weighed in, and I had lost 20 pounds in a month. And the dietitian told me, well, that's good, but you should have lost 40. You clearly cheated. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no way I did, right? I mean,
Right.
yeah, no. And that was really hurtful and really hard to hear. And then I thought about, well, if I have the surgery and if I'm not doing, even though I'm doing what they say to do and I'm still not hitting the markers, is the surgery going to work for me? That was rough to really think about.
Yeah.
So then I had been following like accounts on Instagram and TikTok for like weight loss
Mhm.
surgery, but the algorithm kind of rolls with you a little bit, and so it started showing me people who did intermittent fasting. And so I thought, whatever, it's all weight loss, so I'll be inspired by them and keep going. But what I noticed, because I noticed patterns like this, I noticed the people who had weight loss surgery, they would post and be excited for about a year, and then you really wouldn't hear from them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the intermittent fasting, it seemed consistent more often than not. Of course, there's the ones that don't, but consistently they were losing weight and they were just getting better and feeling better and all that. So that was interesting to me. And so I looked into it and I decided, well, at this point, I've got 2 years. Let me try this intermittent fasting just to see what happens, just to see. And I haven't looked back since. I've lost 170 pounds in 10 months now.
Man, congratulations.
Thank you. And it's been just life-changing.
So would you have any advice for someone, say like me, who I'm diabetic, as I said.
Yeah.
And if I don't eat on a consistent basis, then my sugar will drop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to be really careful if I fast. It's not something I can do on a consistent basis.
Yeah. So I had a friend of mine who she saw the benefits that I was having from, because I'm not diabetic, so it's a different situation for me.
Right.
But she saw a lot of the health benefits. I have blood results and test results that show how much better I'm doing with the fasting. And so she tried it.
Mm-hmm.
Within a month of consistently trying fasting, she greatly reduced her diabetic medications, her insulin intake, her what was the one you were telling me you were taking currently?
I was taking I'm taking metformin.
Yeah, that she greatly reduced the amount she needed to take and how often. So there might be something there. I always advise, if you're going to do this, talk to your doctors first.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but there might be something there. I know the doctor who won the Nobel Prize in 2016 for medicine showed a lot of the benefits of intermittent fasting. After 24 hours, your body reaches what's called autophagy, and that fixes so many things within you, like arthritis, dementia. It reduces cancer risks.
So how often do you fast? And I mean, how long does it last?
So, I mean, I've been changing up my windows a lot, especially with how long I've been doing it, right? It's kind of hard to do it consistently at the same time. I even developed a tool to help me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you. I developed these things. I call them fasting dice,
Okay.
and they're little dice that I roll, and they change up my fasting windows and eating windows. So if I roll them, it'll tell me, 20-hour fast, 8-hour eating window, or whatever it is, right? And that's what I do, and I just change it as needed.
You got a patent on that?
I do. I do
Nice,
actually.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, do you
I
sell
mean,
those things?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Well, where would people go to buy those?
Fastingdice.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna put that up in the description too, so because I
Oh,
know there's gonna be people interested.
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Can I ask you one more thing
Sure.
about it? Do you still do the liquid diet?
No. I eat regular,
Okay.
I tend to eat low carb, as low carbs
Yeah.
as possible. I find that helps me not only lose more weight, but from all the research I've done, it
Mhm.
also helps you maintain a fast longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a benefit all around. Um, at least that's what I've noticed in myself.
Okay.
But I also think that the constantly switching it up with the dice, it prevents your body from stagnating and adapting to your windows and your times. So
Mhm.
that helps too.
So when you were doing the liquid diet, what were you drinking?
They had some special like shake mix that they had me buy. It was like a meal replacement. It
Okay.
had protein in your day's worth of vitamins or something like that.
Oh, basically it's like supplements, but in liquid
Yeah,
form.
like an Ensure or something like that. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because there's still some more weight that I need to take off.
yeah.
And I mean, I've been doing this for however many years. I fell off for a while and got back into drinking and put a bunch of weight back on and then
Mm.
got more serious about it. But pandemic comes around and you get
We're all struggling with
bored.
that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Did you find that you were having a hard time during the pandemic, or you just was smooth sailing?
Um, you know, my whole journey started about 10 months ago, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Oh
early in
yeah,
the
so I'm
pandemic,
sorry. Yeah, you said that.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. So early in the pandemic, it was rough for me, you know, um, because I'm by myself, and then I had worse issues. Like there were points I couldn't walk. There were points, I couldn't take care of myself. So that was pretty tough.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No- Now, losing the weight like you did,
Mhm.
did you find that you were being more sociable after that, or you just always been a sociable person?
I found, well, I mean, part of it was the pandemic. You really couldn't go out, and then
Right,
uh, with all my heart issues, I was considered high risk. So I really tried to stay away from people for a long time until
right.
I got vaccinated. But now I feel more comfortable, and I do go out. Especially, honestly, man, like my whole thing 4.5 years ago, right? So like the worst of it was those first few years, and then the pandemic hits. So like I've gone like years now, it feels like, of being kind of cooped up more or less.
Yeah. I,
So
this whole thing's just been sucky for everyone.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
But you know, I've gotten my life back in so many ways. Like my cardiologist was so impressed with my weight loss and how much better my heart is now, that he's had me speak to other cardiologists about weight loss and how to get their patients to do it. My hematologist, the guy who checks my blood, he is so impressed that now he's fine for the first time ever. Just 2 months or 2 weeks ago, he talked about maybe once I get to a healthy weight, we can talk about getting me off the blood thinners.
oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
So
remember what your A1C was when you first got sick?
I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah, mine was pretty high, and
yeah,
now it's about where it's supposed to be.
yeah. I had such a weird ordeal in the hospital because like I had the clots, so they had to pump me up with all sorts of clot thinners to get rid of them. But they did so much that I actually had internal bleeding, and then I was confined to a bed for a week. And then because of that, they were doing what they call contrast, so they
Mhm.
could do the MRI to see where my internal bleeding was. Well, the contrast is bad on your kidneys, and I started going into kidney failure.
Oh no, man. It's
Yeah.
just
So
one
like
thing after another.
yeah. It was pretty bad.
Jeez. Yeah. When I know when I was taking the blood thinners, when I came out of the hospital, it looked like Mike Tyson used me for a punching bag
Hmm.
because they gave me the injections in the stomach.
Yeah. I had those too.
Jeez.
They sent me home with a bag of them too. And yeah.
And so I guess you don't have a very big medicine regimen now,
I mean, I still have some, right? I still have to. It's not even been a year yet, but I'm doing so much better that the fact that they're talking about getting me off some, like there's the light at the end of the tunnel.
huh?
That's, I mean, that's the goal, right? That's, I don't want maintenance. I want cure.
Oh,
So
I know that's right.
yeah.
So do you have a regimen that you share with other people, like a program?
I haven't developed a full program yet. I just have the dice, but I make YouTube videos where I talk about what I'm doing, how it's working, things I've tried. Like funny thing is like, so on the dice, right? There's a cheat on there because every
Mhm.
now and then you got to live, right?
Of
And
course.
yeah, and it kind of makes it fun. So I got my cheats every now and then too.
So what's your YouTube channel?
Fasting dice. It's
Just
all,
fasting dice.
yeah. If they go to fastingdice.com, all my social media is there: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. It's all there.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to go and follow you on those then.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
And so has anybody come to you and say, "Hey man, you've inspired me to do this"?
Yeah. I've actually it's funny you asked that. In the past couple weeks, I've had family members who remember how bad I was and see how great I'm doing now, who are now like, so talk to me about this whole not eating thing. Yeah.
That's a great feeling. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
I'm not the one to come to get advice from, so. And so you're still doing the journalism, I assume?
Not quite back into that yet.
No?
Yeah, I maybe down the road. Um, it's the media landscape is pretty tough nowadays, and I don't know if that's something I want to go back to.
Mm,
Um, we'll see. We'll
yeah.
see. Yeah.
So, but what's your big plans for the future?
Oh man, I want to just keep doing what I'm doing as far as losing weight and getting healthier. That's the goal.
Mhm.
And in the back of my head, I would love to help inspire other people and let them know that they can do it because I've been there, man. I like
Yeah.
I said, I have grown up always being on a diet. Like
Yeah.
I know that frustration and that anger, and it sucks, and it's hard to live with, and there's answers and there's ways to make it work.
So, have you thought about writing a book about your experience?
Yeah, a few people have mentioned that I probably should, and I probably will at some point, but I want to get a little bit lower, healthier before I start doing that.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, it sounds like you got a business right there already.
Yeah, I mean, the dice was more of a tool to help people. I
Hmm.
I think the price point isn't very high. It's like $14. It's not like a membership thing. It's just a one-time thing that can help you. The whole idea of them is to keep you going, right?
Hmm.
To gamify it, to keep you going, because that's one of the hardest things, right? Is to keep going sometimes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, when I was at my heaviest, I felt so depressed,
Hmm.
and even though I was married and had kids, I still felt alone in a way.
Yeah.
And there were times I was ready to just give up on life altogether. Have you been through that too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with everything that I was going through. Like when I got out of the hospital, I couldn't walk. I couldn't use the bathroom. I couldn't, and at that point I was in my mid 30s, and I just felt like it was over. And then especially with the whole, you've got 5 years, figure it out,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, it seems when you go through all that stuff and in your mind you're thinking, this is over anyway, what's the point? And to be motivated and to do what you've done, that's should be an inspiration to anybody that's watching or listening. If they've just heard your story, um, I hope that it helps someone out there that feels like there's no hope, that, hey, look,
yeah.
there is a success out there if you just give it a try.
I used to go to bed at night wondering if I would wake up the next day, just because of how bad my health was. I would think about like, who's going to find me? How are they going to find me? What do I leave to people? Like, and I don't think that way anymore. I don't have to. That's huge for me.
Now, from what you've told me, I'm going to have a talk with my endocrinologist and see if that is an option,
Yeah.
because I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Just
I would
little bit
absolutely
more.
talk to him.
A little bit more.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. That's how I feel too, but I'm getting there. Like, 10 months ago, I was a size 54 and now I'm a 38.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Man. No, well, I guess what's frustrating for me is I'll get on this good a long trip where I'm losing a bunch of weight, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, boom, 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 I'm putting it back on. Or, I get to the end of the week and I've lost 5 or 6 pounds, and then a day or two later, I've put 3 or 4 back on, and it's up and down, even though I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. So some of that can be, especially with weight loss in the beginning, a lot of it tends to be just water weight.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have some other foods that are higher in sodium, it'll trick the scale because you're retaining water. And so it looks higher than what it actually is. So that's something to keep in mind when that happens, that potentially a lot of it is sodium and not actual weight.
Yeah, I saw an article that talked about how sometimes you'll lose a bunch of weight, but it seems like you haven't taken anything off your body. And
Mhm.
then you get on the scale and it looks like you've gained a little bit of weight, but your body's actually gone down.
Yeah.
It's so weird how that works, and it's got to be frustrating for folks. You need to talk to someone who's professional so you don't get too discouraged.
Well, like in one of my videos, I talk about that, right?
Mhm.
And I talk about how the way I liken it is the scale is like a compass,
Mhm.
but like Taylor's tape and measuring your body, that's more like a GPS. So you're better off with those measurements than the scale.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, how often do you put up your videos?
Every couple of weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
I, I I've I used to go far more regularly, but now I do a little more production value into them and add stuff. I try to make them fun too. Like I'll throw in clips from movies, little jokes here and there.
There's somebody out there that's listening or watching this,
Yeah.
and I know they feel like there's no hope, but do you have some words that you think might be able to help them?
Yeah. Um, there is always hope. There is always a way. I was as bad as it gets, just about. I was in an end of life room. That was it, right? And I was pretty much a hopeless case. And I had to figure it out. And I did. And I'm doing so much better. And I know that listening, because I would hear these kinds of stories too when I was in that spot, and I would be like, well, that's him. That's not me.
Mhm.
I've been that person. You can be on the other end of it. And I know that sounds cheesy. I know that sounds cliche, but you really can.
Well, as they say, each journey starts with that first step.
Exactly.
So it don't wait. That my problem is whenever I'd get off track for a while and then decide I was going to get back on, I'd say, well, let me finish this weekend off, and I'll enjoy eating whatever I want this weekend, drinking whatever I want. No, start now. Don't wait.
That kind of mentality, one of the things I kind of learned on my progress was, instead of saying, well, I want to eat this one last thing one more time, how about start it, lose some weight, and that's the thing you give yourself as a reward down the road.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I do that now, to be honest with you. There's a pizza place in Austin that we like. It's called Craigos.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's like some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And so if I reach a certain goal, I'll say, I'm gonna treat myself to that.
There you go.
So that's the thing to do. You should reward yourself.
Yeah. I like to do non-food rewards for myself, but it's taken me a while to get to that point. Just on Saturday, just a couple days ago, my family went out for ice cream, and I had just finished a fast, and I thought, well, could I do it? Sure. Do I want to and give up all the progress I've made and go have I didn't want to do it, so I didn't go.
Well, I say treat yourself, but don't go crazy.
Exactly. Don't treat yourself every day.
Exactly. What I'll end up doing, I hate keep talking about myself, but I'm the only.
No, go for it.
I'm the only example that I can talk about.
Yeah.
Is when I go to eat the pizza, most of the time I will just eat the toppings.
Okay.
And not eat the bread. Yeah. But maybe I'll split it in the bread in half and just eat a little bit of the bread to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, you can still treat yourself without going overboard. Do something like that.
A thin crust too would be pretty good.
Yes.
Because that's a lot less carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or if I get a hamburger.
Yeah.
Instead of eating both pieces of bread, I'll just I'll cut it in half and I'll only eat half of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like having just one slice of bread.
Right.
But there is a lot of good keto options out there.
There are. It's a lot easier nowadays. There's a lot of good keto breads out there that are pretty good. You can even do lettuce wrap. That's pretty good.
That's right. I think it's Costco, if I'm not mistaken. You can go and they have a keto friendly bread.
Oh yeah.
It's expensive when you want to get healthy. It does get expensive on you, but
that's true. But it's more expensive to not be healthy in the long run.
Exactly. Those trips to the doctor and the medications and all, being in the hospital. Yeah.
Yep.
But if you go to Costco, you can get 2 loaves of those keto friendly breads compared to what you'd go to the grocery store and just buy one.
Right.
And so you do that. I instead of regular rice, I eat cauliflower rice.
Yeah, I do that too.
There's different things that you can do that it's almost like you have the real thing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's gonna not be exactly, but it's close.
Not exact, but there's ways to trick it. Like the cauliflower rice, I throw a little bit of butter in there. Mm-hmm. And I'll do like a little bit of chicken broth in there, and that flavors it up, and it's pretty close to actual rice.
I actually like that better than I do regular rice, to be honest with you. There are some other things.
Oh, rice is my vice, man. That is my thing. So it's not the same, but
at Walmart they have these. I think it's Walmart. They have these keto cereals.
Oh yeah.
I don't like those.
they don't have them at my Walmart, but I am familiar with those keto cereals. I know about them at least.
Now Costco has one, and it's almost like the cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
And I'll throw a little bit of extra cinnamon on it, and I'll use it. Instead of using sweet and low and stuff like that, there's what they call monk fruit. I don't know if you've tried that.
I like
Tastes just like
stevia
sugar.
better, but yeah, there's good ones out there. Yeah.
I mean, the monk fruit is a little bit on the expensive side, but it tastes
Mhm.
just like sugar to me.
Yeah.
So
I just saw a recipe for keto cinnamon rolls, and
ooh,
you would get a low carb tortilla. You spread cream cheese on it, sprinkle it with the cinnamon, and then just fry that up in a pan. Like cut it up into like sushi roll kind of, like roll it up and then just cook it up that way. And there you go. There's your keto cinnamon rolls.
see, you could even write a diet book.
There you go. There you go. Well, one step at a time.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
man, there's all kinds of options out there. And, you know, if you can help someone,
Yeah. I mean, I'm
more
not trying
power
to
to
get
you.
rich off this. I just want to help people. Like it
Yeah.
sucks. I've been there. It sucks.
Yeah. So, hey, if you can make a buck, though, make a buck. Yeah. But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Helping people out is the main thing.
Yeah.
Just like I said with the show, if I don't make any money off of it, is if I help one person, then I've accomplished something.
There you go. There you go.
Daniel, I really appreciate you coming on here, man. I like your story, and I'm going to share out your website in the description.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Do me a favor, though, if you have anything come up that you'd like to share, and if you want to come back on, give me a message.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Any projects that you have coming up, man, I'd love to help promote it.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of the show. And again, thank you. And I want to thank everyone out there that's either watching or listening. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Number one. Number two, please come back and please subscribe. If you're a regular to the channel, thank you for your support. And so until the next one, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network